that when we have abandoned a sunnah, as we have, because there's money in the Quran and there's money in the sunnah, and the money in the Quran and the money in the sunnah is the gold dinar and silver dirham. And when there was a shortage of dinars and dirhams in the market, then they would use articles of food consumption, food, which were in abundant supply in the market and which had a shelf life. They were durable. And so in Medina, they would use dates as money. Dates. There's a famous hadith, you must have heard about it, where Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu came to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam and offered him some dates. And the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam looked at the dates and he says, Bilal, these are very fine quality dates. Where did you get them? And Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, O Messenger of Allah, I had 2 kilograms. Would you allow me to use the word kilograms? I had 2 kilograms, the Arabic is sa'a. I had 2 kilograms of inferior quality dates, and I exchanged them for this 1 kilogram of superior quality dates. If the inferior quality dates were worth 10 ringgits per kilo, the superior quality was worth 20 ringgits per kilo. So the exchange was a fair exchange, huh? You did some mathematics out here, didn't you? So 2 kilograms at 10 make 20, and that one is 20, so it's same value. So I exchanged my 2 kilograms of inferior quality dates for this 1 kilogram of superior quality dates. Bilal, said the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, this is the essence of riba. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Riba? Riba is so bad. That the very last revelation of the Quran to come down, Allah declared war on riba. War. Nabi Muhammad ﷺ cursed all 4 and said they're all equally guilty. The one who takes riba, the one who gives riba, the one who records the transaction, the 2 witnesses. He said they're all equally guilty. If you have sufficient intelligence to study for your exams and pass your exams here, you better take some time and also study the subject of riba. It could mean the difference between life of freedom and life of slavery. Bilal, this is the essence of riba. What you should have done was to sell the 2 kilograms of inferior quality dates, take that money and buy the 1 kilogram of superior quality dates. But a direct exchange of 2 for 1 in dates is haram, it's riba. Why? There is only one answer, only one. It is because dates were used as money. Animals were not used as money. So you could exchange 4 camels for 1. No problem. Why? Because animals were not used as money. But because dates were used as money, if we allow this transaction 1 for 2, then the money lender could come along and lend you 1 and get 2 in return. See? You open the door for the money lender. Huh? Dates are superior? The 1 kilogram was superior quality dates. The 2 kilograms were inferior quality dates. But these were dates and these were dates. Because dates were used as money when gold and silver were in short supply, because dates were used as money, you cannot have an unequal exchange, because that will open the door for the money lender to lend on interest. This is money in the Sunnah. In addition to dates, the hadith mentions wheat and barley and salt. What will you do now that you've heard this lecture? Now that you agree with me that this paper money is bogus and fraudulent and haram, now that you want to return to the Sunnah that you've abandoned, you and I, and you are in Indonesia, in the island of Java, what would the Muslim youth do if he wants to recover the Sunnah and gold and silver are in short supply? The answer is that you would use rice. Nasi. Sudan? Somalia. MashaAllah. I love Somalia. I was once a student in Switzerland, and I had to study French in the summer. Student of the Graduate Institute of International Studies in Geneva. So they sent us to Fribourg for the summer to learn French. And we stayed in a hostel, Christian hostel. And every day we had to go for classes in French. There are lots of Muslim students from different parts of the world. Egypt, Tunisia, Turkey and so on. And there were 2 Somalis and myself, 3, who would ask, what meat is this? What is this? What is that? And try to avoid haram. Only those 2 Somalis and myself. All the rest of the Muslim students ate whatever was there and drank whatever was there. I love Somalia. I love Somalia. If we want to recover the Sunnah, and we in Indonesia, and we have a shortage of gold and silver coins, we'll use rice as money. In other words, we will monetize our rice. Instead of selling the rice for this bogus Indonesian rupiah, we will use the rice as money to buy and to sell with the rice. The International Monetary Fund is going to be mad with us. The World Bank will be very angry with us. The Zionists will not be able to digest their food if we do this. Why? Because we're slipping out of their grasp by monetizing our rice and using rice as money. And if you're in Cuba, you know my neighbor, I'm from Trinidad. Cuba is just around the corner. And you know Fidel Castro doesn't smoke cigars anymore, you know that? No, he doesn't smoke cigars anymore. He's just cigars haram now. So if you're in Cuba and you want to bring back the Sunnah money and you have a shortage of gold and silver coins, you'd use, not tobacco, you'd use sugar as money. My opinion is that we have to move to the countryside And before we end, I have to tell you why I say the Muslim youth have to do it. Move to the countryside, out of the cities, into the countryside, and build micro markets, small markets. And in those micro markets, you prohibit the use of this bogus money. Nobody will buy using that money, nobody will sell for that money. No, not in this market. And you bring back dinar and dirham. In fact, you don't need dinar, it's all dirhams you'll be using. And if you have a shortage of dirhams, then you'd use like rice and flour and sugar and so on, wheat. And this should be replicated all over the countryside. All over the countryside. And eventually the countryside will preserve Islam, while the city will be eating pork and drinking wine, as in Turkey.